Hello, everybody. It is April 21st, 2021. Today we'll be finishing off the book of Habakkuk and be jumping into Jesus is Calling for today. Sorry that this is coming at you a little bit later. We had some water issues at our place that had to get taken care of immediately. So I had to push everything over. But well, we're not good now, but we have a plan now, and things are not too bad. And yeah, I'm rocking my Five Iron Frenzy sweater for one of my favorite albums that just dropped last year. Till It Shakes Apart. Really, really good album. Starts off really heavy, but yeah, no, there's a lot of good things about that. But we're going to be focusing on the Bible, focusing on the book of Habakkuk for now. So let's jump into it. Let's get into today's devotional, April 21st, 2021. Let me control your mind. The mind is the most ruthless, unruly part of mankind. Long after you have learned the discipline of holding your tongue, your thoughts defy your will and set themselves up against me. Man is the pinnacle of my creation, and the human mind is wondrously complex. I risked all by granting you the freedom to think for yourself. This is godlike privilege, forever setting you apart from animals and robots. I made you in my image, preciously close to deity. Though my blood has fully redeemed you, your mind is the last basin of rebellion. Open yourself to my radiant presence, letting my light permeate your thinking. When my spirit is controlling your mind, you are filled with life and peace. And that was inspired by 3 different sections of the Bible. For you have made him a little lower than the angels, and you have crowned him with glory and honor. Psalm 8:5. Then God said, let us make man in our own image, in our likeness, and let him rule over the fish of the sea, and the birds in the air, and over the livestock, over all the earth, and over all the creatures that move along the ground. So God created man in his image, and in the image of God he created him. Male and female he created them. Genesis 1:26-27. And then lastly, the mind of a sinful man is death, but the mind controlled by the Spirit is life and peace. Romans 8:6. That letting God control our minds. It's an interesting thing, and we're never, at least I've never been able to fully give God control of my mind, but it's focusing on God in every situation, praying with God, knowing that he is around all the time. It's an important thing. And that's Discord lighting up on my laptop. Sorry, it might be beeping for a little while. But yeah, so now we're going to jump into Habakkuk, and we're going to finish the book of Habakkuk, which is a pretty powerful book in and of itself. So it started off with Habakkuk just pleading to God, God, there's so much violence, so much anger, so much deception, so much of all of this, and where are you? We've been praying, and it seems like you're just not showing up, that you're just not listening. God, save us. And God's like, all right, I hear you, and I'm going to save you. I'm going to send the Babylonians. And Habakkuk's like, what? They're even more evil than we are. What do you mean you're sending the Babylonians? What? They're so ungodly. And then God responded back with, just so much different stuff yesterday. And it was like the pain of seeing his people, his representatives, being so corrupt and dishonest and so unloving, that he was sending someone that's even more well versed in their own sin come and kind of overtake them and show them what they were doing. And then, now we're going to be jumping into Habakkuk 3, and we're going to be finishing off Habakkuk. And it's an interesting one. Then tomorrow we're going to jump into one of either the book before or the book after. I'm drawing a blank. But yeah, without further ado, Habakkuk chapter 3, verse 1. This prayer was sung by the prophet Habakuk. I have heard all about you, Lord. I am filled with awe by your amazing works. In this time of our deep need, you help us as you did in years gone by, and in your anger, remember your mercy. I see God moving across the deserts from Edom, the holy city coming from Mount Paran. His brilliant splendor fills the heavens, and the earth is filled with his praise. He is coming as I'm getting distracted by the pain in my foot. Chapter 4, or verse 4. His coming is as brilliant as the sunrise. Rays of light flash from his hands, where his awesome power is hidden. Pestilence marches before him. Plagues follow close behind. When he stoops, the earth shakes. When he looks, the nations tremble. He shatters the everlasting mountains and levels the eternal hills. He is the Eternal One. I see people of Kashan in distress, and the nation of Midian trembling in terror. Was it anger, Lord, that you struck the rivers and parted the sea? Were you displeased with them? No. You were sending your chariots of salvation. You brandished your bow and your quiver of arrows. You split open the earth with flowing rivers. The mountain watched and trembled onward, swept the raging waters. The mighty deep cried out, lifting its hands in submission. The sun and moon stayed in the sky, as brilliant arrows flew, and your glittering spear flashed. You marched across the land in anger, and trampled the nations in your fury. You went out to rescue your chosen people, to save your anointed ones. You crushed the heads of the wicked, and stripped their bones from head to toe. With his own weapons, you destroyed the chief of those who rushed out like a whirlwind, thinking Israel would be easy prey. You trampled the sea with your horses, and the mighty waters piled high. I tremble inside when I heard this. My lips quivered with fear. My legs gave way beneath me, and I shook in terror. I will wait quietly for the coming day, when disaster will strike the people who invade us. Even though the fig trees have no blossoms, and there are no grapes on the vines, even though olive crops fail and fields lie empty and barren, even though the flocks die in the fields and the cattle barns are empty, yet I will rejoice in the Lord. I will be joyful in the God of my salvation. The sovereign Lord is my strength. He makes me as sure-footed as a deer, able to tread upon the heights. For the choir director, this prayer is to be accompanied by a stringed instrument. May God add a blessing to the reading of his word. Okay, so Habakkuk 3, freedom in the here and now. Jesus once makes this fascinating statement: my purpose is to give them a rich and satisfying life. John 10:10. When Jesus invites us to follow him, he is inviting us into something much larger than just getting into heaven when we die. Jesus is inviting us into the kingdom kind of life now, a life that is forgiven and redeemed, restored and renewed. Jesus came not to give us religion or a set of beliefs. He came to set us free, not only from something, but he also to something. We've been set free so we can really live in the here and now, not just someday, but somewhere else. Just as Habakkuk clings to the hope despite the terrible destruction surrounding him, the hope we find in Jesus is that we are experiencing in this moment is not the end of the story. Our lives are a grand story with many chapters. Whatever you are going through in life right now, know that the message of Jesus is this. Whatever your this is, it's not the end of the story. God has the final word. So that trusting in God is just, he doubles down. And Habakkuk is laying out all of this, like, I don't understand. You hold the power of life and death. You are the creator of everything. I might not understand why you're doing this, and I might feel desperate, but I'm going to rejoice in you. I'm going to rejoice in you because you are God, you are the creator, and you loved us. And now, in this post-Jesus world that we live in, we can trust that Jesus is in control, and we've seen it time and time again. We've seen the hopelessness that surrounded Habakkuk, and we can identify greatly in that. And by the virtue that we're reading Habakkuk's words, we know that God brought success in that situation. And it's just a glimpse into some of what was going on at that time. So, yeah, let us pray. AJC. Awesome Jesus Christ. You know, it's easy to just think that this is COVID-19, but this that's going on in all of our lives right now, Lord, I lift that up to you. I lift up this. Whether it's car issues, the water issues that I was having earlier on today, and kind of continue to have, but it's kind of sorted out. The stress, the feeling disconnected, whatever the addiction, the hopelessness, the frustration, the failure, whatever this is that we're feeling low and sad and calling out to God for, calling out to you for. Even when we don't know if we hear your voice, let us know in some way that you're hearing our prayer. Even when we don't feel like you're hearing our prayer, you are. Lord, let us come to you in honesty and in truth, and give you this. But this isn't going to last forever, Lord. Let us entrust you with this, and let us have the bravery and the courage and the strength to let you have the last word. Amen. It reminds me, so my favorite movie right now is Jojo Rabbit. And one of the last lines in Jojo Rabbit is, no one feeling lasts forever. Whether that's, and it's all about like World War II, and like whether that's hate or fear or whatever it is. This just kind of reminds me of that. Like our this will become our that as we move forward with God. We get to live in the freedom even while we're going through this, knowing that is going to come. It's a pretty awesome thing. So may God strengthen you as you're going through your this, because there's a hope for your that. Hopefully that makes sense. Anyways, have a fantastic day. I'll see you guys tomorrow. God bless.